the All-Star Parade of Bands. From Birdland, the jazz corner of the world, the modern music mecca, United States Treasury Department presents the All-Star Parade of Bands, featuring the nation's finest orchestras, and on the star podium for this series transcribed, it's modern America's man of music, Kenton and His Orchestra.
Fred, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, the first number is a kind of a light, happy bit of rhythm music that is mostly important because of Sal Salvador and the guitar. It's a thing that is a kind of a take off the title of one of the old tunes, but this is quite different in content. A little improvised jazz and a little written jazz. We introduce Sal Salvador playing Frivolous Sal. Thank you very much. Let me shake your hand. And if Collins this time on this show can sell bonds like you sold that composition of Holman's, why, I think that we'll be achieving in the right direction. Thank you, Mr. Roslano. If you'll return to your position now, that chair in between Bob Burgess and Bill Russo, we'll prepare for this next number. And Vinnie Dean and I, the first alto saxophone player, discussed this title before we came on the air, and we decided that it is not quite befitting the composition. However, it has to belong in some category and be typed in some way, Vinnie. So this evening we'll introduce this as an original works by Bill Holman. That more satisfactory? I think we'll mark that in the book for safekeeping and for long keeping. Here's the beat, gentlemen. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Say, Fred, would you, let me put it this way. You have many talents, and one of them at the moment I'd like very much if you would justify this. I would be most happy to, Stan, and put forth a few words of wisdom written up by the U.S. government. You know, it's your choice. You can spend your money as fast as you earn it, or you can save part of it in savings bonds and get back $4 for every $3 you put in. It's your choice, but the wise choice, the right choice, is the Series E bond savings bond. Not only is your money safe and your interest guaranteed, but now the Series E bonds have been improved. Now you don't have to wait 10 years for your savings bonds to mature. They mature in only 9 years and 8 months from date of issue. And now your Series E savings bonds continue to earn interest even after they mature. The improved rate of 3% interest is compounded semi-annually for as long as 10 additional years. But you'll feel more secure tomorrow if you buy those United States savings bonds today. And thus we have our message from Uncle Sam for this time, Mr. Kenton.
Fred, magnificent. Thank you. There are many different kinds of music. There are many different kinds of musicians. And today, more than any other time in the history of music, is a day of specialization. Musicians choose the type of music they want to play, and they do their best to excel by specializing. I say that because no gentleman has put such an effort toward specializing and developing his particular field of modern music as Lee Konitz. At the moment, we'd like to tell you how proud we are to present Lee playing the great jazz number, Loverman. Konitz? This business of radio and this business of recording and so forth is a pretty technical thing besides the effort that's put forth by the artist involved. And close and right next to, at the very moment that a broadcast is being made, there always is a gentleman that we call an engineer. A man that has in his fingertips, or at his fingertips, the controls in which he can carry the sound to the center where it is then released to the network. We have a fellow here that is not afraid of the Kenton brass section at all. Dud Conley looks upon this thing like it's a mild kitten, where to some engineers the thing becomes a grotesque monster that can hardly be coped with. Dud, this is one of these numbers that I'm sure that you can handle just as easy as you have handled some of the rest of them. This is a thing that starts out with low trombones. A pattern is developed, a Cuban pattern. Trombones, we just mentioned these modes. The two guys are up to take a bow. We're not starting yet. It's just that I want to talk to the engineer. And then gradually the rhythm will mix in with this until finally as it develops there'll be a couple of loud chords, a few solos, and, well, you've mixed it before. You take care of it, Dud, because here is 23 degrees north, 82 degrees west. Gentlemen, right at Dud.
my very pleasant duty to bring to the bandstand here at Birdland a young lady whose physical charms and attributes are exceeded only by her excellence in vocal rendition. A very charming young lady about to sing If I Should Lose You, the lovely Chris Connors, ladies and gentlemen.
You've been listening to the All-Star Parade of Bands, presented by the United States Savings Bond Division of the Treasury Department. And remember to join us again next week for another of the nation's top orchestras on this All-Star Parade of Bands. This is the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.